Hey, look at this sweet rifle I got for the store.
What the hell is this? The store? We don't need a gun for the store?
No, Lee. We don't have the store anymore. I traded it for this rifle.
What?
We're about to fucking go into the apocalypse with 2020 and shit. We're not gonna need a video store. No one's renting things. There's like Netflix and shit. This will get us canned goods and toilet paper for fucking days. Because I only have a little bit of ammo. Alright guys, here we're going to talk about the movie Pterodactyl. 2005's Pterodactyl. Lee had just seen this one before.
No, ma'am.
I thought you've seen every movie with Coolio.
No.
Are you telling me one has slipped through your...
I wanted to, but I guess I missed one, yeah.
All right.
It's a big shock in like the credits once we get to there and we see Coolio in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
This movie has a little bit of everything.
Do you like this movie?
It's not good.
Okay.
It's not a good movie.
I knew that we would agree on that much.
I will say it is not a good movie at all, but it is certainly an interesting watch because nobody cared about this movie. The people in it, the writers, the directors, like you watch it and like obviously the people that did the CG like weren't like hip to the script or something. Like things are so weird. There's sporadically used really nice practical effects, but they're like it's like I got a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, so we'll get more into it when we do like the spoiler breakdown thing. But yeah, it's like it's called Pterodactyl. You get what is being advertised. There's
pretty much.
It's a movie with pterodactyls. We got Coolio. We have some other stuff happening, right?
Yeah.
And there's some puppets, but it's mostly CG pterodactyls.
Correct.
I should hate this more than I do. I'm not gonna say I liked it, but I think like honestly, and I've said this a few times now, so I may have to keep upgrading my thing. But I think like fans of the genre, right? CG creature features from the early 2000s, which I know you are like a super big fan of, right? I think like we've seen a lot worse. I think that this
there's definitely worse. There's the loose elevator pitch premise of this film is you have like the U.S. Army on one hand, you have like Turkish terrorists on the other, and caught in the middle some archaeologists who are looking for something they're gonna find.
Yeah,
pretty much.
A volcano has like cracked open and it's an opportunity to go somewhere, but the place they're going, if someone says like, "Hey, there's bandits. You probably shouldn't go there. It's dangerous," and they go, "I don't give a fuck about that," and then predictably we have to meet up with Coolio and the Turkish terrorists. The plot is like immaterial. It's just an excuse. It's just a hanger on which to hang like a big coat made of pterodactyls. Like there's no point in the plot at all.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
So if that sounds like something you need to see, go check it out. If you've already seen it or don't care, follow us over to spoilers.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, so here we are for the spoilers of Pterodactyl. So Pterodactyl is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I love that it's like somebody just put a quarter in the earth and a couple of fucking gumballs fall down in the form of eggs.
Yes, that intro is very funny.
The intro just like gives me lots of questions because the intro drops 3 eggs that we can see. There could be more that we don't see. And I think it has to imply there are lots of things that we don't see because we see these eggs and one just hatches fucking on the spot. You're like, okay. We have pterodactyls to deal with. And you're like, all right, where's this going to go? And then it lashes forward 2 months. And now in that 2-month period, there are now gigantic fucking pterodactyls doing their fucking thing. And you're like, okay, so we're not explicitly told or shown that there are not also full-grown pterodactyls that were sealed off into something that popped down. But that would make a lot of questions of like, well, how? Were they hibernating?
Do you know how long it takes a pterodactyl to achieve adulthood?
I don't, but I do know that if there are not other things that we don't see, it would imply that not only do they reach adulthood in 2 months, they also breed in that 2 months, and those things also appear to hit the maximum velocity age of killing.
Seems
On
like
top of that, there was a large male that would have had to have come out of the first egg and to have fought things large enough to have scarred up his body.
Scarred up. So I think that the ending, which we were going to save for the very ending, where it's revealed that there's also a full-grown living T-Rex inside the mountain, kind of, answers some of these questions. I do want to underscore, though, that I could not care less about the life cycle origin details.
It just spreads to that, you as the viewer not caring, that's one thing. But the person who writes it not caring is completely another.
An epidemic.
And no one gives a shit. And literally, no one gave a shit because they never made that sequel that they wanted to make about T-Rexes in the mountain because the movie made no money at all.
I can't imagine why this didn't make lots and lots of money. It had Coolio.
It did have Coolio.
It had pterodactyls.
So the main guy, the lead,
Professor
paleontologist
Lovecraft.
Everyone was named after these fantasy sci-fi type of
is that
of
what
characters.
It was?
Yeah, there was a Sterling, Rod Sterling. Yeah, there was
interesting.
Sterling rather. There were those different names, but regardless of how witty and clever these fucking idiots are, no one gives a shit. The main guy though, he looks so familiar, but when I look for what do I know you from, I have no idea.
Agreed. I think he just had that look.
He looks like he should have been on the Brady Bunch or some shit.
Guy.
Don't hold back, Kate. I mean, say how you really feel.
I hate this movie, I think.
Yeah, no, you're fair.
But,
that's a wise assessment. I would say if you didn't hate it, you're probably doing something wrong in your life.
Overall, good. No, I did laugh at parts though, and I do think this is.
Were they funny parts or unintentional laughter parts? Because I got the unintentional parts.
Yes. No. None of the jokes that are jokes are good. There's not even that many jokes though. Mainly
the jokes are just the incompetence that is the movie.
Yeah.
I love that. Someone believes that pterodactyls must have hunted by the fact that their wings are razor blades and they just cut through things
That's a great
pull there.
You're
all right.
No, a dude gets his head cut off by a pterodactyl just driving by.
Heads get cut off, whole bodies get cut in half, all kinds of shit goes wild.
To walk the viewers kind of through this for a moment here, right? It opens, you get the eggs, you get a puppet coming out of the egg. Mm-hmm. I'm like, all right, now we're talking. This is good. I mean, it'll probably be CG sometimes, but I know they have a puppet, so I know I know their heart's in the right place. Things are gonna be good. Then 2 months later pops up. Now I'm a little worried, right? For all the reasons you're worried. Full-grown CG pterodactyls, just copied and pasted the same pterodactyl everywhere.
Pretty much.
Just pterodactyls. There's a couple guys in a huge open field, right? And one of them gets pterodactyl bombarded, and it's like a video game. It's like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
His lower half is standing up for a full second. And little chunks are falling, and then he falls down. It's the most goofy, ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
I want to shout out that guy as one of my favorite actors though in the movie. The guy that gets cut in half.
Yeah.
So he has 1 second where they're like, "What do you see?" And he turns and he looks like his character should be called Igor or something. He's just huh?
Zeke, what do you got?
And then he's dead. But that look he gave, I'm like, oh. Fucking nominate this guy.
Sold me.
I'm down.
Some problems here.
Yeah, I like that it's in Turkey. The movie might be filmed in Turkey. Who knows?
I don't know.
I do think, I've never been to Turkey. I know nothing about Turkey. Those woods did not feel Turkish
I was going to say, again.
Felt like we were in California or something.
Right. I was like, I don't know either. I don't know what Turkey's supposed to look like, but I don't think that's it.
Now, there's something to be said about the craftsmanship of a product like this when it just infinitely zoomed into things that are so pixelated where it's look at this nest. There's a mountain over here. It's shit where you're you didn't care at all.
No, it's amazing. We're critical, and I do think that makes it charming in its own way and funny
kind of
in its own way. But I still don't like it. And that's what I mean. I want to acknowledge that like I'm not like this is ridiculous. Pterodactyls would blah, 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 like no. I'm taking it for what I think it actually is supposed to be, which is kind of a like ridiculous pterodactyl feature. And I'm still like no, it's not not enough, Doc.
There's a part where like the love interest gets kidnapped by a pterodactyl.
That's
and
my favorite thing.
Is like kept alive in there like as food for the babies.
Everyone else shatters the minute a pterodactyl looks at them, but this one chick, because she's the love interest of Professor Lovecraft.
Professor Lovecraft.
Gets carried off unharmed and brought all the way back to the nest.
Yes.
It is amazing.
I love like Coolio's on the radio with her. All right, we'll be there in 2 hours.
Okay, Bulldog, battery's going low. We better shut it down. We'll call you back in 2 hours.
And like just like, all right, hang out there, you'll be fine. 2 hours, and then they get up the mountain. They scale this mountain, and somehow they're on like the wrong side of the mountain. Like there appears to almost be a whole other mountain, and she's on this side, and they're on this side.
Yep.
And they get to her, and they're like, oh good, it looks like they sleep at night.
I'm coming to get you, baby.
Michael,
Yeah?
I'm a little scared.
We have, presumably 8 hours to get you. And they're like, all right. And then it cuts, and it's like the middle of the night. They've done nothing. They waited until the very next day.
Uh-huh. Literally a pile of CG up on top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And they go, it seems like we have a reprieve for the time being. You okay over there? I'm okay. Cuts to night, and they're just both, and then she's like, I'm scared. Like they're just still shouting, talking to each other, like about their lives.
When you say pile of CG, it's literally just all of the pterodactyls just in little clusters, kind of like how moths would be on a light.
Yeah.
And we've already established they have this like groundbreaking technology that like is being tested for the first time, I guess, with these terrorists for some reason, where like you can just fire a like heat-seeking missile thing that doesn't actually track heat; it tracks what you're looking at.
Did they get that from the terrorists?
Thing.
I
No,
thought Coolio
that's theirs. That's theirs.
Oh, okay, they're not terrorists. Coolio's a good guy.
Yes. So, but they have this technology where like you're like, oh look, there's just some sitting pterodactyls. I'm in the army with a rifle. I could just shoot them.
Yeah.
Nah. I could blow them up with my fucking eye radar thing.
Yeah.
Nah.
No.
Let's do nothing for 8 hours. Then you know what? Let's put explosives off camera inside of a fucking lamb or a sheep or whatever that I feel was alive until it was dropped.
I don't think they even fully show. We won't be able to show the whole sequence, but they hatch the plan.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't get a rope over there, but if I tie a rope to a sheep and leave it out, then a pterodactyl will carry it back to the nest. Always thinking, right?
Yeah.
But then just the sheep laying in the nest is enough for the rope's like good, as if the sheep is the grappling hook, and they throw it into the nest. And then yes, the coup de grace is that at the end it's also packed with C4.
Yeah.
That one of our boys is able to blow up the nest with. Yeah.
The trajectory of that rope and how it changes, because at one point it looks like he's climbing directly straight up, then it's like sideways, then like he moves a little bit to make it a pot. Like it's such a crazy thing because it doesn't exist, and no one cared to think about how does this work. Like,
why would you care?
His whole mission, for whatever reason, is okay. I will now climb across, and then we're both gonna just climb back over. She could have just climbed over.
Yeah,
like, why did he have to go there?
He doesn't have like zip line hook things or something.
And
to
his
get him
climbing
back.
is so fucking ridiculous. I love lack of weight in things when someone's like straight up and it's like.
There's a point where he literally he has to like resituate his hands and he's just standing on something and they just show all that, but they don't see his feet, right?
It's so goofy.
It's pretty choice.
There's like some bad keying at times, and it's like whatever.
Yeah, you like that though, right? You like shit. I thought you.
I make a lot of shit.
I thought this was your jam. No, I mean like all the other creature features, right? Have all these problems too.
There is something special about this one.
Yeah.
Where I feel like they were like, how can we have more problems? How do we do
this
How can
worse?
we not explain things away with simple dialogue? Let's bring that terrorist with us.
Yeah.
And not, like do nothing to prevent him from just killing us, or like at many times he could have just pushed him off the cliff. He's just there with like a zip tie on his hands, nothing else. And then at one point he just becomes a murderer. I don't know. Like what was his goal there?
When he's like, give me a gun.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then Professor Lovecraft says, what are you, crazy? And he goes, I'd have to be crazy to go to prison. And then the pterodactyl grabs him.
What are you, insane? I'm crazy not to want to go to prison for my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening? Was he turning on them?
I don't know.
Was he about to shoot him? And it didn't work?
Hard to say.
But then we get the puppets eating him in the nest.
Yes.
Which I like.
And they stop eating the other guy who's been alive and they've been eating for a day and a half. You're like, bleed out already, man. Come on.
Please, just stay down.
I love she's on the fucking walkie-talkie. Yeah, like Simmons is here. He's not gonna make it.
She's like,
I'm like, he can hear you. He even's like,
It's Clark there.
Yeah. He's not gonna make it.
Simmons is here. Yeah, he's really fucked up. There's a lot of that going on. I want to unpack like a few things.
Sure.
One of them is Coolio's, laser painting helmet that you've mentioned. Listen, this is crazy just to be in there in the first place. All right.
Sure.
The way that it comes into play and like how they use it, when Coolio like straps it on.
On three. 1, 2, 3.
And double pistols and runs out there. I'm gonna go paint the target out front. Y'all lean out the window and shoot the thing, right? And how they're like killing pterodactyls with it.
Yeah.
But they only have a total of like 5, rounds for it, shells for it. But just the whole system where he has to wear the helmet and stand out in the open and look at something, so then it's for it to get killed.
if we're gonna talk
genius.
about ridiculous things with Coolio in the helmet, he dies for no reason.
Yeah.
Michael, move!
Why did he stand there?
No, so the helmet comes into play at the end. That's how he's going to kill the main one, which
Yeah.
will then depower all of the other robots, and we'll all win
Well,
the game.
if there's only one male.
So dumb.
And they did explode the nest, which presumably had all the females.
Listen, dumbest thing ever.
Oh,
we
the
have
mo-
to kill the big guy.
The
Yes,
movie is dumb.
He like waits to pull. I think he waits even to fix the visor, but he also waits to like pull the gun up or fire the
Yeah.
shell. And it says like target locked, and he doesn't shoot. He waits for it to grab him. Then he shoots as if like that's how we're gonna outsmart it, because before he dodged it. Now he can't dodge it because he's got his hands on me.
He even explains like it's too smart or something.
Yeah.
There's always that line in
They know
any
the
of these movies
tactics.
where there's been no reason to ever believe it's smart. They just act like normal animals. They're like,
Yeah.
it's smart, too smart.
They're
Why?
not
Why
gonna
do you
fall
think
for
that?
that. They're waiting for us. They're smart. Yes.
Oh God, it's almost as dumb as the archaeologist guy going like, "Oh, I'm not gonna leave. I gotta get it." Like, what is your plan? You have no plan. I don't even know how your Jeep died, let alone how you're gonna. What are you gonna catch one? Like, you don't even have a camera. What is your plan? You have no plan.
We are not equipped to handle this. We need to go back and get help.
Oh, I'm not sharing this with 10,000 other scientists. You take the Jeep. I'll be fine.
No, and like that scene only, that's like a perfect example, right? Because that scene only works if the Jeep that none of them know is disabled, and if they all have to stay together randomly anyway for no reason. But like, yes, his premise of like, this is too big of a historical, scientific find. I have to stay behind and catalog this. I'm not sharing this with other scientists. And she's like, you stupid bitch, we are stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? Yes.
And there's moments where the urgency completely drops. I think like around that time, like the whole time, there's just 7 pterodactyls circling, and I'm like, what? What are you doing? Are you an idiot? Why does anyone ever leave the tree line? Since you seem to be safe in the tree line, everyone just comes out. Oh, I think we're fine. Oh God, they can attack from the sky. They're fucking pterodactyls.
I gotta run across this giant field. Okay, you go first. Okay. Oh no!
It's quiet as a summer's afternoon. Smooth sailing out here, Cap.
I love the
incredible.
the bitchy girl who is in every one of these movies who's like my daddy's money got me here, and I'm here for like the grade or whatever. I think daddy could have bought you.
They're his students.
I don't even know why you're in school when you're just so rich. Whatever. But I love when she's getting attacked in the water because the practical claws in the water look really good. And we do see a little bit more practical effects later.
Just to talk about that scene a little more, when she's running away and like she meets the nerd.
Oh yes, this is the best line.
And he's horny for her. I think okay. So then she's like, he's like staring at her chest, and she's like, ugh, and like runs away. And as she's running away, she says, "Don't look at my butt." And then.
I feel like it comes a little bit sooner than that, where like she sees him looking at her chest, and she screams, "Don't look at my butt," and runs away.
UFOs.
Staring! Don't look at my butt!
Aside from it being a dumb line, it felt dumb.
Yeah, there's a few lines like that that are pretty cool, that are pretty dumb.
Don't worry, senor. We still have ways of making you forget your pain.
I feel like he says the same line twice at one point, where like it's something like when he's like, "Are you Mad Dog Blah Blah's daughter?" No one else has that last name. Have to be. Small world. It's a small world.
Old Bulldog Holland got a daughter. Small world.
No, this whole plot line is dog shit, where she's like Bulldog McCready's granddaughter, and she inherited Nathan Drake's tomb raiding ability, and therefore is like good at this somehow. When it's like you're just this professor's random student, and then like that's what earns Coolio's respect. I think Coolio is bad in this.
Now keep your mouth shut, or your teeth won't make the rest of this trip. Now, Professor, tell me about those dinosaurs.
Yes. And I think that I liked him in Dracula 3000 because he had a better role for him, that he could
bring something to the
lean
table.
Into, right?
Here, it's because you didn't have the dialogue. Like they have shit like we're not watching Oprah or what the fuck they like. I'm like, why are you even talking? You're supposed to be like a crack team of military people, and like you suck.
Can that nonsense now, soldier.
When the writing is bad, you can't shine as an actor.
Yes, and
he's not much of an actor, so you can't shine at all.
The Dracula 3000, where he gets to go crazy and chew the scenery and go way over the top, right? In this role, it's kind of like the early Emery drill sergeant. He's supposed to chew people out.
Yeah.
But every time he does it, like his face remains so relaxed because he's so Coolio.
And he says things like relaxed.
That doesn't
hammer it home.
He's like trying to push, but it's like me pretending to be angry, where it's like he's not angry. He just feels like he has to say this.
There's a part where he chases down a terrorist, and like. It looks like he gets shot.
Like, he gets nicked.
Well, no, but like it doesn't look like he gets shot in the head. It looks like he gets shot like in the body or something. But then he's not. And then when they come back, he's like stupefied. Like he's like, I don't want coffee. Like so like he has a head injury.
You sloppy cap?
What? No, I don't want any coffee.
You better check him.
Which could have been from being clubbed. He was hit at one point with a stick, I think, when that guy had a gun. So you're like, why didn't he shoot you? Doesn't matter. But then the medic comes over to him, and it looks like she is dabbing an injury from getting his ear pierced. Like it is a tiny bit of blood on his earlobe.
Then we move on to the next outpost. Yolin's in this force. And we're not leaving until he's our prisoner, or we're dead.
And I'm like, what are we supposed to believe here? Like, she takes his helmet off, and he won't even remove his hat.
And he's like, what is this? There's some blood on the side, and she's got to tend to some little wound or something.
It's such an unclear as to what happened. And yes, you're supposed to believe he got, like, I guess, a grazing wound to the head that made him, like, get concussed.
Well, the gunshot's so close, he's disoriented. He just had to kill a man. He just had to break a man's neck.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this. They have, like, in like Predator, before they have to do the predatoring or like the preying, actually. Spoilers for Predator. They go like take out a village or something.
Yes.
We kind of have that scene here. So like we meet the kids and the professor before we meet Coolio and the gang, and like. Coolio and the commandos are out there, And at first you're like, okay, well, this is a goofy ass movie. I've seen CG pterodactyls. I've seen like, oh, what are you? Oh, he's gross. Oh, the nerds are quoting Blade Runner and all that shit. It feels like a very lighthearted movie. During this commando scene, they open with like a dude sneaking up on a guy, and like they don't show it, but he slits his throat.
Oh yeah.
They just kill a motherfucker. And I was like, wait, like totally, this is so off of like what it's supposed to be.
What's so weird about that is like they're like, all right, no, don't shoot him. We got to blah blah blah, and like there's enough of them that they could literally all go like, okay, I got the line on the left, and they could be like, and like one shot and take everybody out. It would be totally done.
Well,
but
yeah.
they're looking to not kill this one particular guy.
Yes.
But they don't see him, and they do end up getting in a gunshot like battle
They
anyway.
like immediately start shooting. He like slits that one guy's throat, but there's not like another sequence where they creep forward or like.
He's 1 inch away when he slits the guy's throat. You get seen immediately.
Like a radio goes off or something happens. I don't expect all that attention to detail, but it's bonkers to me how like serious the commando shit is compared to the rest of the movie. And then like the whole first half of the movie is just those two groups eventually coming together and stuff. And then like mercifully now you just have like the the normal movie. We don't have to bounce back and forth between this two stupid.
You thought there'd be more of a impact from like the terrorist group, like they wouldn't all die almost immediately, like maybe there'd be another band of them, so something else could happen. But no, it doesn't. There's a weird threat where like one of them threatens to rape the love interest girl.
Oh yeah.
And it seems like he said like oh, she's going to make her scream your name, and I'm like, is that a thing that happens in Turkey? Like, do I make sweet love to you and make you scream that person's name?
I don't think it's a Turkish thing. No, so like they're asking like where is whoever, and like they're like, who? I don't know that person. You will know him once we make your ladies scream the name. It's some convoluted.
Some weird way to say it.
It's like trying to be a joke.
Where is Yolan?
Yolan? Who?
I guess you don't hear me so well. Until we make your woman to scream your name.
Maybe this was filmed in Turkey, and that guy is like a Turkish stuntman who they just
that guy was in Triple X.
Oh my god,
the biggest guy.
Does he have that accent?
He has a European accent.
Is he the bitches come guy?
He's in that scene, I believe, but
Okay.
I don't think he is that guy.
It's them!
Yeah. He had a very much, and I'm like, are these people French? Like, what's happening? Where are we? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what any of that is.
But Coolio and his commandos rescue them. Then that's when everything goes forward. But yeah, shit's way serious. There's about to be a
pterodactyls and don't like even bat an eye. Like, oh, pterodactyls, sir? Yep.
Yep. Don't make a move until the civilians are away from the guns or something. Yes.
That's one tough chica there. What are we waiting for, Cap?
Till they're clear enough to engage, that's what. I don't want any American casualties, just bad guys.
I want to mention it's not a big part of the movie, but I love the Jeep they have. I don't know what version it is, but it has these weird diagonally slanted doors that like scream of like old school cool shit.
Angie, outside.
I thought that was like a cool placement in the movie where I'm like, oh, I guess someone has had access to this and they thought that'd be cool on film, and they got it.
I did not notice the Jeep at all.
Something that's weird that you also may not have noticed is like there's a part where like they go and sit on a rock in the woods, and the rock is made of foam because it moves when they sit down. And it's such a strange thing to import, like, we gotta bring a rock. Like, it's like if you had like a water pump in your front yard and they hide it with those fake rocks. It's like something like that. It's such a strange pull.
What?
The girls sit on a big rock, and it's a fake rock. And they could have just sat on the ground. The rock meant nothing to the scene, but it's there and it's fake.
So like when the one chick goes swimming, I thought like the stuff behind her looked like artificial and man-made. So I'm like, is she just at the sewage dump? Like, what's happening? Are you just
Maybe.
Are you just downtown? But then in like the wide shot, there was a bunch of rocks like that. And I'm like, oh, I guess they just have because it looked like a slanted, whatever, where like water would come through like a drainage thing. and do a thing or whatever. Yeah. No, that's so weird. Why would you make a big fake rock?
I have no. It's such a it's so strange. I'm like, this is where some of the budget of this movie went to a fucking fake rock,
A giant foam rock.
It's pivotal to the plot. I need the ladies to sit on a rock. There are none here. I'll import one.
No, make one. Here are some cans of expanding foam. You get out there and you start, foaming and
Paint
shaving.
them gray.
Let's do it. Well, the budget definitely did not go to CG because, as we've already talked about, it's bad. There's issues all over the place.
CG's pretty expensive. This is early days.
My favorite scene is when the professor wrestles with the head
of a
pterodactyl. This is when they're in the cabin. Things don't look good.
Shoots it in the eye, right?
Yeah, a pterodactyl jumps in and he basically humps its head bone to fight it, and then has to shoot it in the eye, all weird, right in front of him. It is the creme de la creme of are you sure what you're interacting with right now? What could have been on set to set this up for the plate of the actor, and then the CG guy comes in and goes, "Fuck, I just have to make this work somehow." It's crazy.
Well, they find this cabin where this all takes place, and they leave the medic and his only surviving student. He has the grad student love interest, but she's a grad student, not a student. So they leave them there, and we're gonna come back for you. They die.
Yes.
Off screen, not off screen. They die.
This is after, because the whole group was there when they attacked.
But they die unknowns to them. They don't know they're dead.
Take care of her.
And when it all ends, they're like,
We're
done. You're what? You're not gonna go back for those people?
They do forget all about those people
they're done with them.
Because the audience knows that they're dead.
I hate that shit.
And the script, they checked the script and they're like, we're good. Yeah, because they're just walking away. Oh God, the ending when he's like, I think there's enough pterodactyl guts on this shirt for me to be famous. Let's kiss. And that's
what is in the bag? What does he have?
You're starting to smell really bad.
River's only a few miles away.
You're gonna wash off proof pterodactyls exist?
Hopefully this will be enough to convince them.
I thought that's just his bloody chunks of whatever.
It looks like a human head, not by looks, by size of what it is. And I was like, what is that supposed to be? And we know a few short, maybe a mile from where you are, there was an intact body of one they shot down. So there is evidence.
There
didn't
should
explode
be
everything.
Absolutely.
You have preserved evidence there.
Yeah.
And I love the tree of shit, where you're like, that was so much shit that it based on the pterodactyl size.
What is it?
Some form of urate, obviously.
Bird pee?
It's too big.
Just to be clear for everyone, the nerd's peeing and he falls into a bunch of shit. It's like the bird excrement, the combo urine, whatever.
And other people are like, let me sniff it, let me get it really close to my mouth, I need to know what it is. Oh, it's horrible. What did you think it was? It's a fucking big pile of shit.
Yeah, everyone's super interested in it. They argue about it. It becomes a huge plot point, and then at the end, it's just You see, it's not just. It's not a bunch of little droppings. It's big, long streams.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to really get into it.
I was given explicit instructions from my mother not to play with fire.
Let's start the fire.
Oh, no, sir. I was given strict instructions from my mother not to play with fire.
You can play with fire. No.
These are the jokes, folks.
This is a thing that's in the movie.
And the guy's like, you're allowed to play with fire.
Yeah, it's not even playing. He has a purpose for this.
How
old are you? God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was written for much younger kids. Could this be like a Jurassic Park ripoff gone wrong? What do we think happened here?
But beggars can't be choosers.
The director of this movie did Firestarter and Commando.
Okay.
And a few other things. Class of 1984. Actual movies.
Yeah.
And then appears to have had a stroke. And then gone on to make a bunch of lower budget, worse movies in the decades that would follow those.
That's how it goes.
We have a case of that, it seems.
it works for like as a bad movie in the terms of like there's a lot of things that are really shitty and you could joke about and laugh about.
Yeah.
But as far as like good on-screen deaths, you really don't have any. True. Like a really fun, interesting looking monster, you don't really have that. And even the notable actors that you do have are either miscast or just not used well here. So this is a poor rating like across the board for me.
Sure.
It's like not a fun movie.
Yeah,
it's like a fun to shit on movie.
Agreed. Yeah, I think like my lack of being a connoisseur of this, I just assumed like naively like, oh, this must be what the people want. Just put the shit in your mouth. Just eat the shit, right? But like, I guess to your point, like, no, this is actually bad enough to be bad, and like, not should be recommended.
I would say like half the movies, like those like sci-fi original style movies, are either like, oh, they go into two columns. Either, oh, this is great, or this is shitty. And like, you want the ones with Coolio to be great, but
no,
I can't say this is one of them. Dracula 3000 though, check that shit out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's alright.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Take cover!
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff opinions you can really trust.